What is digital wellness? If you're like most people, this term is pretty new to you. Perhaps you only started hearing about it the last couple of months, or it could possibly even be that clicking on this video is your first exposure to this very term. And it can be confusing because we already have a term called wellness that can really mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So let's unpack this term and figure out what it really means, because it could be very significant to your life's outcome. There's a common conception out there that digital wellness refers to things like taking breaks from digital technology, deleting apps and stuff like that, and those really represent tools by which we can achieve digital wellness. At its core, I would say what digital wellness really means is being aware of the impact our digital life has on ourselves, on what kind of content we consume, what articles we read, what videos we watch. There's a phrase that you probably all are aware of. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. And that phrase really refers to the influence that your surroundings can have on you. The people you spend time around, their hopes, their desires, where their mindsets go, tend to have a strong impact on where your mind goes, your thought process, how you feel about things, what you pursue. Well, the same goes true for what you read and what you see online. If you watch a lot of content that's negative, you tend to become more negative. If you read a lot of things that are hateful, you can become more hateful. On the contrary, if you read things that are empowering and read things that help you get toward your goals, and or listen to content such as my podcast, where you hear stories about people who achieved what they wanted out of life, well, then you're more likely to move in that other direction. So really, digital wellness at its core, it's about that awareness. It's about that understanding that what you consume, the websites you go to, the apps you click on, the accounts you follow, and what articles you read the most are going to impact who you become, and really how your mindset works. Now, to achieve that requires there's a twofold aspect to it, which is being intentional both about the amount of time we spend in front of these digital apps, but also being mindful about what we actually are consuming, the type of content. Both can have a strong impact on who you become, because spending too much time online, of course, takes up too much of your time, but spending too much time on really negative content can impact your mind and turn you into a disempowered, negative, and hateful person. So digital wellness is really about both aspects of that journey. As I had said before, doing things such as setting aside a day to be without your phone, or setting aside digital holidays, or even grayscaling your phone, or using apps to cut yourself off from certain other applications are great tools to use in this pursuit of digital detox. It's just not the full picture. I have my own story when back in 2019 I decided to take the first Sunday of every month, I called it First Sundays, and be phone free for that whole day. It required some advanced planning all my activities beforehand, but it really helped make me aware of things such as how often I would look at my phone for just random other things. For example, I'd be pulling up to a gas station and I would pull out my phone to look at Gas Buddy app to see where the cheapest gas was, when I can remember a time before smartphones when I would actually just remember which gas stations tended to be the cheapest, and be more observant of what the predominant prices are to see if something looked like a good deal. And so things like that made me aware of just how prevalent these phones came in. So I want to still encourage you to use all these tools that we have out there, everything available to achieve this pursuit of digital wellness. But just to understand that in the end, digital wellness is really about the intentionality. It's really about understanding the impact it's having, and being fully intentional around the amount of time that we're spending in front of our phones, in front of our screens of all kinds of digital technology, and also what we're doing when we're on these screens, whether we're consuming one type of content or another, whether we're learning, whether we're being entertained. And it's not that any one answer is wrong. If you want to be entertained, that's perfectly fine. It's just the wellness is around knowing that that pursuit is what we want, and it's also not really harmful to our mindsets.